If you're hearing this, you're still here. Alive, breathing, maybe sipping your coffee, maybe driving to work, maybe gaming with friends, or planning your next adventure in the verse. But somewhere, beneath white stone markers, in rows too perfect to count, are those who did not make it home. This weekend, while stores roll out their sales and burgers hit the grill, I need you to stop. Stop and remember what this day actually means. It's not Veterans Day. It's not Armed Forces Day. This is Memorial Day. This day is for the fallen. For the 1.3 million American service members who gave their lives in war since 1775. For the 58,000 who never came back from Vietnam. For the nearly 7,000 who gave all in Iraq and Afghanistan. For those who died alone without glory. And for those who died saving someone else. I want you to read something, not from a movie, not from a book, but from a letter written by a young Marine to his family, days before his last mission in Fallujah, Iraq. If you're reading this, then I didn't make it, and I'm sorry. I tried to do everything right, but I guess God had other plans. Don't cry for me. I'm where I'm supposed to be now, but please, don't ever forget the guys beside me. They were my brothers, and they fought like lions. That was Lance Corporal William W. Taylor, age 23, killed by an IED in 2004. He never made it home, but his words did. And now they've reached you. So today, remember this. Freedom is not free. It never was. It was purchased one drop of blood at a time, on beaches, in jungles, in deserts, in mountains across the world. Every laugh you enjoy, every sunrise you see, every game you play, it all exists because someone paid for it. With everything. So before this episode begins, before we escape to the stars, let us take a moment to stay grounded, to remember. To all who served and fell, we honor you. We remember you, and we will not forget. That all gave some, but some gave all.
You are listening to Beyond the Verse, a Star Citizen podcast. A show dedicated to Cloud Imperium games, Star Citizen, and Squadron 42. Whether you fight, explore, unite, and or trade, we bring you news, updates, interviews, reviews, and analysis. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a pour of Radagast, and join us as we go Beyond the Verse.
Launch sequence activated.
Hello, friends, and welcome to Beyond the Verse, Star Citizen podcast. I'm your host, Sulyce, and this is episode 105. And a very happy Invictus Launch week and a happy Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully this finds you well in whatever capacity, whatever journey you're on for the next couple of days. But before we really get into the show, let me switch it over to my esteemed guests. Yes, today we are joined by the infamous Soul Provision Leadership, -1. But we got Groza and Mustang here with us. Marauder was not able to join due to conflicts, but I am so blessed to have Groza and Mustang on. Gentlemen, how are you doing tonight? And you're on mute. I knew that was going to happen.
Damn it. I'm doing great, actually, other than being muted. I have staged this room to make it look like I have a plant. I do have a plant, but it's got some frosted tips going on over there.
Kind of like your hair.
Like a little bit. They're both natural, I will say that. Yeah, I'm great.
Good, man. Good. Glad to hear it. Mustang, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to this weekend to spend some time with family.
Yeah.
And it's a good time.
Good. Well, I'm glad y'all were able to make it. Again, Sad Marauder's not going to be able to join us, but we have a pretty, I would say, fun episode. Last episode, we talked a little bit about the Idris and Invictus Launch Week and all the things that we're super excited about, but it's nice to bounce feelings, thoughts, emotions, emotional outbursts with friends like in the two of you. So we'll go through this week in Star Citizen, of course. I would love to hear your reactions on the Idris since we've had that org night and maybe some more exposure that y'all have had in the last couple of days. And then we have some new ships to get through. We've got the Starlancer TAC, the Guardian MX, some drama. I would love to kind of rehash like the flight blades and AI blades and see what the hyperbolic feelings and emotional outbursts are, like, to say that again. And then we'll end with the roadmap update. There's a lot of content for 4.2, a lot to get excited for. But let me just pause here, slam on the brakes before we get too ahead of ourselves. What's the verse been like for the last couple of days? I guess we played in Org Night that last Thursday, which was a lot of fun. How's it been since?
Well, I've been a celebrity.
Yeah, no kidding, dude.
I released a new screenshot, so I'm on the press tour about it right now, actually.
Yes. Yeah. Star Citizen's been eating you up, man.
It's been a blast.
Good.
I very, very sort of irresponsibly purchased an Idris last IAE, just kind of a little bit not planned.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's here. Like, what?
Shocker.
And also, I just feel like my sort of overly toxic positivity and hope for things to happen have finally been vindicated.
Yeah.
I just like saying, you got to believe. Anytime anybody says anything, I just say, you got to believe.
If y'all listen to the last episode, it was the one time I shifted from optimism to pessimism. But this guy, Groza, was the one that kept on harping on me, saying, you got to believe. And sure enough, that dude was he was right for once. Mustang, how's it been for you, buddy?
I'm excited. So for me, no Idris, but the TAC did come out, and
it did.
I'll be honest, I'm missing the Starlancer Max a little bit. Got used to running the cargo missions and the ease of that cargo bay dropping out. But I'm starting to think that the Starlancer Max might be the perfect sort of C-130 Overwatch ship for those atmospheric party raids and jump towns and all those kind of scenarios. Absolutely loving it. Groza joined me for the first time I took it out of the dock, and we were flying, and I was like, I could live in here. I don't need any fruit anymore. No more water. I've got my own med bay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was short lived because we got blowed up real fast on the Polaris.
I have a comment to make about that.
Oh no!
I thought you were raising your hand because it was your fault, but that's okay. Go ahead and make a comment.
So, you know how every now and then just goofy little things happen in the verse?
Mm-hmm.
So he was flying too close to the Polaris while I was being the co-pilot or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like Icarus, he flew too close to the thing that was his undoing. We soft deathed, but because it was the Hunt the Polaris mission, the AI doesn't necessarily, like, they don't want to kill you. They just, once they soft death you, they're good, right? So I EVA'd through the entirety of the Starlancer TAC, got into the Fury, which I had previously landed in the hangar, and then just continued on with the Fury. I left him behind. But so then eventually we were successful because there were other people there. And then I was like, hey, can somebody give me a ride? I'm in a Fury. I don't have a quantum drive. And first of all, everybody was a jerk. And they're like, oh, sounds like a griefer, sounds like a pirate. I was like, okay, but like,
skill issue.
I don't even have a gun. Like, I'm literally just in a flight suit and I'm in a Fury. And all these people were questioning me, but this one nice person flew and picked me up, and I landed in their Polaris, and then they took me back to Everest, and it was very nice. And it was I just like goofy little I just love goofy little situations like that. Like, it's so much more fun to like risk getting killed and respawning with all the stuff you have,
Right.
and maybe like you can just like doing those little medical pickup missions and just like
Yeah.
little interactions with strangers that go well are quite nice. I really like them.
Yeah.
And if I could just sort of follow up on that, the other night I was out solo and I was just running another one of those Hunt the Polaris missions and got blowed up, EVA'd out of my ship. And so I was flying around, and I posted this in our Discord. But I'm looking at the planet, and on the far side of the planet, so there was an Idris chasing the Polaris with its laser beam, which was kind of awesome to watch. Just awesome to watch. But in that shot, that single shot, I got to catch a hammerhead to the bottom left. I got the fight of the Idris laser beaming the Polaris. On the other side of the planet, I can see the Hawthorne mission, and I can see the satellite shooting down. And I was like, I can't believe I'm seeing
Oh,
all of
that's
these
cool.
things happen at the same time.
Yeah.
Nobody picked me up. Yeah,
It didn't work out for you in the end.
Yeah, that's right. I'm no Groza.
I'm more of the damsel in distress.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, you are.
No, I think there's two things that y'all said that I'm kind of picking up on. Like, one, so for Groza, like the organic gameplay, whether it's prompted by the medical pickups or not, I think it's that organic gameplay that just naturally happens that makes Star Citizen truly what it's capable of. No game loop, but just kind of happening across something and wanting to step in and help out. So yes, the organic gameplay makes this game sexy AF. And then Mustang, you made me think of like the Citizen Con where they showed like the org bases up in space. Like, can you imagine having a massive org battle up in space and seeing the ground missions taking place on the planet, like millions of kilometers away from you? Like, that's, I think the scale, right? The scale and the organic gameplay really makes Star Citizen what it is. So that's cool.
Yeah, millions of kilometers. You mean giggles?
Sure. Yeah.
Giggles.
Whatever unit of measurement. I'm all confused now. Gigameters. Yeah.
It was definitely giggles away.
Yeah, I've actually been chilling around the new ambush missions, right? So Fox, I forgot the name of
Foxwell.
Foxwell, there you go. Thank you. So Foxwell gives a mission. It's the ambush mission. Right now I'm just yellow. It's super easy stuff to do, but you take your ship and you go into like this infrared or this area where it blocks your heat signature or all your signatures, and then you lie in wait. And so far I'm 10 out of 10. Like, no glitches, no issues. The ship appears like it's supposed to appear. You chase it down, hunt it down, kill it, and you get credit for it. And I think for a brand new, I'm going to call it a brand new game loop period, because like ambushing has not been a thing that's been led by NPCs. It's been flawless. I don't know. Have y'all tried those missions out yet? Have you had good success, or have you not tried it yet?
I just started one. I'm not as far along. I've been shooting the satellite things.
Yeah.
So I'm not there. But I will say, when I used to try to stack load the cargo missions, and if I got more than 3, I would die in my hangar. And the other day I did not. So I got to bring all 3
Progress.
home for like 150K. You know, with a big ship, you can do a bunch of little things. And that worked out really well. So along the same lines, I think the patch is working. Groza?
Yeah.
A-firm. I haven't been doing the those yet. I really want. I think I started like that gauntlet thing. I got a little confused because there's like the gauntlet, there's the priority training thingies, and there's the Foxwell things.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure those are all 3 different things.
They are very different things.
I did take a yellow mission, but it was actually ended up being an FPS mission, which took me to one of them cheeky little PAFs at the Hathor sites.
Yeah.
And then there was another person there.
Yes.
And I shot them.
That is, that's a PvP lead. Go ahead.
But I did not, I revived them and ran away. So
good for you.
Take revenge on me. But I felt like that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Let them know. Let them know. Let them know. They could have, let them know. But then just you can keep playing.
Yeah, I guess the norm is like you strip them of their armor and their gear, then you
I
revive
took his blue
them.
cards. I took his blue cards.
Yeah. And then you let them, because when you revive them,
then I Pulp Fictioned him right in the chest.
Right in the face. Yeah. Well, good, man. Good. Yeah. The last thing I'll bring up, I've been flying the Idris around, and let's see here. Like, if you want to go to my socials, you can find out how I've like scientifically assigned both the K kit and the T kit. We can get into that some other time. So that's been a pain in the ass. But I'm flying around, and I soloed all the flight school. So what you're mentioning about going to like mercenary and then the gauntlet, like the 1 through 8, I was able to solo. It was hilarious. My PDCs did most of the work. So I went and did 1 through 7 easily, not a single issue, care in the world. You cannot solo the Idris and defeat the Polaris. You can't do it because the Polaris outmaneuvers you and gets all of its shield back before you can reset your cannon. So your cannon has like 60 seconds. That's long enough to melt one phase of the shield and maybe cause a little bit of hull damage, but it'll outmaneuver you and then get all of its shield back. And I did it for like an hour and was not able to get anywhere close to defeating that Polaris. So I might need an org like Soul Provision to defeat the 8th gauntlet. Challenge accepted.
Copy that.
So if we can get org night together, that'd be great.
Yeah, go for Mustang.
Yeah, I'll get it up in the LFG section of our org. All right, let's get into some
incoming message.
Community segments. All right, at the end of every episode, let me go and share my screen for everybody to be tracking. At the end of every episode, we do a poll and a comment section over in Spotify. And last week I asked who should control the big ships like the Idris in org operations. I think this is a
Steel Wicker Beast.
Yes, of course, if you want insta-death. I think this is great. I think this is a great conversation for the three of us to get into, but the Idris comes out, a lot of solo pilots. There's a lot of salty individuals that think you shouldn't be able to solo Idris. It's fine, whatever. But let's say that you do have an organization with 300 members. We have 13 Idrises in our org, which is ridiculous. How do you determine who flies the ship? Is it the owner? Is it just me and Groza that's going to be flying the Idris every time? Or is it command staff, like one of the 4 of the Soul Provision leadership? Or anyone qualified? Do we have to go through a gauntlet? Do we have to go through some training to be like, all right, I trust Steel Wicker Beast to fly my Javelin, maybe? So the owner of the ship, mission dependent. Maybe there's a pilot in your org that is better at stealth and maneuvering as opposed to making sure the right flank or the right face of the ship is facing the right direction. But let's open this up real quick. The results, 54.5% said mission dependent, which I think I agree with. 27.3% said the owner of the ship gets to fly it. And then a tie of 9.1% to both command staff only and anyone qualified to fly. So to Groza and Mustang, what do you think? Especially with us being leadership in this org, how do you want to move forward with controlling this?
Well, I let Steel fly my Idris before I flew my Idris.
It's true.
He took it out for its first trip. While we were running a little late to work tonight, and then I definitely sort of played with my own toy as we did it for the first night, and then the second night that we did stuff, I handed it over to him because he was having a rough time with the pledge store and the limited quantities, and so I said, "You take the wheel, man," and I actually had a blast just sort of running around. Just running. I was doing different turrets and just kind of running around. I mean, I'm still exploring it, so it's pretty fun. I think Marauder is taking it tomorrow. You have to be mindful that like you don't want to be like the kid on the playground who like brings a new toy and then doesn't let any other people play with it, right? Like we learned that when we were young.
Most of us did. Most of us did.
To just stick on that analogy, I think that's exactly what Star Citizen and CIG bring to this age group of people, right? This is a sandbox. This is that giant GI Joe toy that some of us didn't get for Christmas when we were 8 or 14 or whatever years old. You guys are a lot younger, but there were a lot of giant aircraft carriers and things like that. And when the Polaris came out, there was a Saturday morning, and Rosa was on with a whole bunch of other people, and that's exactly the impression I got. That the memory, it's really visceral. That I was taken right back to being 8 years old again at the playground, and the one kid got that awesome toy that everybody wanted.
Yeah.
You know, um, when it comes to command flying and I'm of two minds. Like one of it is like if it's my toy and I bring it, then let me fly it, right?
Sure.
The other part is if there's a role play to it all, and who's really the best person to do it for that mission, and that's why I go to that mission dependent sort of side, right? You want to fly it with the souls on board in mind, I
Yeah.
would say. So like get the job done. Who's the best person to make the right call for that mission? Me. I want to be in a fighter outside of that ship protecting you guys.
Yeah.
Like I don't know that I have a role inside the Idris yet. I'd rather be outside leading a squad to protect and defend.
Yeah.
That's my space.
Yeah, I love that some of these, actually I think most of the capital ships have like a captain's chair. And I think like if we're in a role play or like in an org situation, I'm fine like taking that detached, decentralized command, being able to make sure I have all the different comms going between our echelons and our flanks and ground patrols on planet side. Like I think that's where my passion lies. So I'm not flying mine. I'm not flying the Javelin when it comes out. Like we have a Javelin, but I don't want to be the pilot to that. Like it's moving, it's moving so slow. You think the Idris moves slow? Imagine how slow the Javelin's going to be. It's going to fly. So I don't think necessarily the pilot really matters. I think you have to have a command element. Who's ever the officer in charge gets the captain, space. But it should rotate. To y'all's point, it should rotate. Everybody should be able to get the privilege of flying a Javelin, what that feels like. Being on the nose turret of an Idris is something exhilarating. Like it really is. So I definitely agree with you there. And then also I've told y'all this before, especially to my listeners, I'm also cool being like the chef, like the waiter. Like I want an 890 jump. I just want to be the bartender. Like I just want to not exist. Like I'm just Sulyce. Don't worry about this. Here's your beer.
Groza was the ice cream lady the other
That's right.
ago, remember? And I was bring ice cream in the cutter.
That's right.
With trouble. It was the ice cream truck.
Yeah, you dropped it at my feet, and I'm like, "What is this? I've never seen this in the verse."
It's an ice cream.
Usually, it's a cruise drink.
You can buy them at Orison in the spaceport.
Yep.
At the Whammers, I think.
And put me in a turret gunner seat or the crew chief, like cargo deck. Like,
yeah,
I'll do that all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. I think that's a great conversation. And honestly, we could probably have the rest of the podcast talking about the future of org play. But to the comment section real quick, we have 7 to get through. Anna. So again, thank you, Anna, for always being an email individual and a commenter on the podcast. But quote, I hate the fast flight blade for the Drake Cutlass. We're going to talk flight blades here in a little bit. So I'm going to not react to that, but we've got vehicle modifications and flight blades and AI blades that we're going to talk about in the rest of this podcast. Corrupted data. First off, do y'all say corrupted data or corrupted data? Which is it?
I use data and data interchangeably.
Oh, do you? Whatever feeling.
On context.
Got it. I've been struggling with that like for the last couple episodes.
The word data appears so seldomly in my life. I had to think about it really hard. I think I say data.
Yeah. Well, you and I have.
Star Trek.
Yeah, that's right. You and I have very different walks of life because I do data every day of my life.
It's very funny. I love seeing how different our brains work.
Yeah.
It was making me laugh the other day a lot.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, speaking of which, he tells us, he goes, I say corrupted data, but I know some people say data, and he actually like puts out the phonics. Like the android from Star Trek. There you go. I think both are correct. Depends on the sentence. As far as the Bengal tiger armor I was talking about, it's in the store for $30, so you won't see me wearing that. It's one of the packs. That sucks. Soundwave Ghost writes, I don't see a flight blade for the ships. Really need them like my whole sea. I don't see a flight blade for the ships I really need them for. Okay. Yeah, so he has a whole sea. He wished there were flight blades for the whole sea. Right now, it's just for a handful of ships. The intent from CIEG is they're going to have them for every ship.
I thought that was, I got the joke, Soundwaves. I thought it was funny. I realized it.
What?
He's being funny.
I don't see a flight blade for the ships.
He wants a flight blade for the whole sea.
Yeah.
It's funny. He's
like
being funny.
Like speed because the whole sea's so slow.
Yeah.
Way over my head. I'm so sorry. Way over my head. Joe Hash. Joe Hash writes, I named my reclaimer Scrappy Pappy. Scrappy Pappy. Okay, so this is probably based off of like the naming of the Idris. So the Idris is going to be nameable starting in the next couple of weeks. But I love that name. My reclaimer is the Munchies, which the Munchies, Scrappy Pappy, love them both. What's y'all's favorite named ship that y'all have?
Oh, I'm so excited to talk about this.
Oh no. Is it appropriate?
I have 2 named ships, but I have a name prepared for the Idris, which I am not sharing because I don't want anybody else to take it. My favorite ship, I almost don't even want to talk about my current named ship because I don't want somebody else to be able to guess what I want for the Idris. But my ships are all named after different names that people call Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings universe. So my 600i is called Mithrandir, which is what the elves call him.
Nice. And
my MSR is called Lathspell, which is what Grima Wormtongue calls Gandalf when they arrive at Edoras to basically exorcise Sauron out of King Theoden. He says,
I love that.
He says, late is the hour in which this conjurer chooses to appear. Last spell I call him, ill news for an ill guest. That's the line.
I love that, dude. That's cool.
Awesome.
So is your Idris name?
It means herald of woe.
Nice.
And the MSR is like a data runner, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
The herald itself.
So the name that you have for the Idris, is it also a Gandalf name?
Yes.
Okay. You won't have to say it.
Luckily, there are many options, so people aren't going to be able to guess it.
The Gandalf. Done. Too easy. And I think you might have started another war in my head. Is it Idris or Idris?
I sort of believe it's Idris.
Oh boy. All right. Something else we can argue about.
I'm going to say it's Idris.
Idris. Okay, well, cool.
Yeah. Or Idri.
Idri.
Since we have so many.
Multiple.
Yeah.
Words are hard, guys, especially for me. Idris, yeah. All right, let's move on before I make an ass out of myself even more. Bravo 1, I might just have to convince the wife we have to take a family trip to Texas this year. Okay, so CitizenCon Direct, I am working with the Astropub and the Texas Bar Citizens to have something really awesome planned out for Austin, Texas. So if you're around the Texas area, or heck, if you want to just come to Texas regardless, we're going to have a pretty exciting event planned. So if you're interested, we do need to know interest level. So go to beyondtheversehq.com. At the very top, there is an announcement link that says click here, vote. That says that your interest, again, so we can get an idea. We have a pretty decent amount that's already selected. But again, it's the difference between like 500 and 1,000 look like 2 very, very, very different events. So we're just trying to get an idea. So are y'all going to come to Austin? Groza, you better, because I think you're close. Oh, Mustang. No, it's Mustang. You're in Dallas, right? So get your ass down to Austin. I expect you here.
Copy that. Yes, sir.
Yes.
There's a brand new org member who's also from
That's right.
Somewhere.
Houston.
Houston. Yeah.
Houston, Texas. That's right. Grizzly, you better be there too, man. I would love all of you.
It's in October, right?
October 11th. Yes, sir.
There's a strong possibility.
I do have clearance, so this is right around wedding anniversary time.
Ooh.
So it's really hard to sneak by a spaceship.
Yeah.
On your phone underneath the table at brunch at a hotel while you're on a anniversary weekend getaway.
Yeah.
But I did get clearance because we thought it was going to be in Austin anyway.
Yeah.
So
that's fair. Well, good.
Can't say that Miss Mustang's going to be there, but
I think she should be. I would love to meet Mrs. Mustang.
Heck yeah.
And she would love to meet you, Groza. We'll figure it out. I don't know that she's gonna go.
My wife will probably be there. My kiddos will probably be there. My son Carson has a tendency to watch me play Star Citizen, so I'm sure he would enjoy it. So we'll see if it's like family friendly or if it's just a bunch of people getting together to get drunk, which I don't see the latter. But you know how these things go.
Yeah, my wife would be like, "Oh, that's just another Mustang family event."
Yep. So Cody Laneship says, tried picking up the Constellation Phoenix, although it was sold out. Bummer, but I had fun with all the new pilot training scenario missions that actually teach some of the new incoming players how to play and how to fly. Just picked up some HOTUS and VKB. Nice. As VKB is no longer selling in the United States, hopefully that'll change. I think I've heard intel that's changing in the next couple of weeks, given progress. But I'll leave that there. Guess I was a little too late. As always, great work, love listening, and always look forward to Fridays. Well, I appreciate your patronage. Thanks for your listening, viewership, whatever we're calling it. But hopefully having Groza and Mustang on just makes it a sweeter experience for you. And last but not least, especially not least, our dearest friend, Dakota Riley. I tried 5 of 6 waves to get the Idris P. Guys, I feel really bad for him. Like, I really do. I've been watching like vicariously or living vicariously through him in the last couple of days. That dude has struck out, and then he slept through the 6th attempt.
Oh no!
Oh my God, poor guy. Anyways, I tried 5 of 6 waves to get the Idris P and had it in cart every wave, but processing errors caused me not to get it. They're supposed to possibly do more waves, which they are. We'll get into here in a couple of seconds. But yeah, it sucks. I'm going to make you feel really bad, but I got it first try. And that was like 2023. So it wasn't even a possibility of it coming out. I think the difference, guys, is that it is out. And so that F5 war is even worse than it usually is because it's out.
Which,
hey man, still, you gotta believe.
There it is.
You got all these. You got more chances. It's gonna happen. You gotta believe.
That's funny.
I feel so bad.
I don't, because it's gonna happen.
It will happen.
He's got plenty of chances. Yeah.
Is it going to come? Is it so? As a subscriber, I expect to see this in my hangar for a limited time, right?
1 week. You'll have it for a week. The week after Invictus Launch week. So that has been confirmed. So all subscribers will have access to it, which I'm avoiding the game during that week. You will not, unless it's Orgnite, you will not see me in the verse, because that's going to be pure chaos.
Okay.
But
can I just say that somebody else can fly that ship the entire time, the whole week?
Yeah. You can fly mine too. Absolutely.
Yep. Just take it and go.
Yep. Yeah. And it's going to be insane. I love that people are going to get their hands on it. I truly do. But the servers are already delicate. So throw, 700 people inside of the same shard. 400 of those might have the Idris. It's going to be stupid. And then you're going to have content creators are going to want to create a scene, right? They're going to have their entire org pull out their Idris. It's going to be insane. So
you mean like line them up and shoot them at the same time and like fire a shot off the bow and
there will be shenanigans.
Yeah.
For that week. So I'm avoiding. Still, it's happening, dude. We'll get into it here in a couple of seconds, but there are additional waves There's a lot of additional waves, so there's plenty of opportunities. A lot of late nights, I'm sure, for individuals. Let's get into This Week in Star Citizen. Keep the podcast moving. We have a lot to discuss, so here we go. This Week in Star Citizen. I'm not going to read the narrative. I usually do. But for this week, we got a Behind the Ships from the Mirai Guardian MX. We're actually not going to watch it together. We'll watch the commercial and then discuss, but we're not going to watch the Behind the Ships for the Mirai Guardian. That came out on Monday. It's funny, Tuesday is a declared maintenance window. I don't think they need to declare it on this calendar. Just let us know ahead of time, and that's sufficient. But we know that on Tuesday there was scheduled maintenance. On Wednesday, we had a roadmap update, roadmap roundup. That was actually today. This is Wednesday, by the way. Really early. I'm out of town for Thursday and Friday, so we don't have anything Thursday. If there's any surprises, you're not hearing it during this podcast. Friday, we have the Anvil Asgard, which yours truly will be giving away the Anvil Asgard with a Nova Tank lifetime insurance package, thanks to CIG. So stand by for details on how to enter. It's going to be huge.
Oh my goodness.
I know. It's going to be crazy. So stand by for that. But that's it for this week. A very hot and heavy week. Let's talk reactions. I guess
Hot
just
and heavy
overall.
giveaway.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you can call it that.
I've entered so many already.
Do we need a... Okay. There's context to both comments that were just made. So Groza has one of the best, luck in all of the Star Citizen community. He maybe applies for 10 giveaways and wins 5 of them. Like, the dude's crazy. So I don't know if he should apply for this one because you'll probably end up winning it. So the giveaway queen, have at it. We'll see if you win this one. Mustang, you got to give it a rest, man. Your hatred towards the Asgard.
It's not hatred.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nobody gave away a Valkyrie. Nobody.
I wonder why. We don't want to push people away from the game.
There it is. All right. Okay, White Knight.
Yeah, there we go. Touche. So the Asgard's available on the showroom floor. It was actually really fun. So first off, shout out to Supervision. We had probably 25, maybe a little more, that did our Invictus Launch Week Org Night on last Thursday. And they did me the blessing of a huge org picture in front of the Asgard. So we were able to walk in it, tour it, see the glory that is, really measure just how much better it is than the Valkyrie. And then took a photo in front of it that we'll be using for the giveaway. So I think it's a phenomenal ship, but I will be objective here and say it's apples and oranges. You really can't compare the two. The Valkyrie is a drop ship. You can put anything, a ground asset that is smaller than the Nova. The Nova can't fit, but everything else can. Massive drop ship. It's got all the bells and whistles you would expect out of a gunship. So the Valkyrie's sexy, right? The Asgard's not a drop ship, right? The Asgard's like a transport ship. Like, it's really for taking, like the Nova tank. It's for taking a massive vehicle, maybe dropping that onto a battlefield. But it has a different purpose, right? Hold me accountable here, Mustang. But it's almost like a C-130.
That's exactly where I would go. Like, so take your Gibbs or take your Jeeves, and I had this conversation early this morning about it, the balance between the Valkyrie and the Asgard, and I think it very much a conversation of the Chinook versus a Blackhawk. Although I spent a whole lot more time in a Chinook than a Blackhawk. The mission sort of set is sort of the same, right? Like, you don't have a drop ship dropping a tank on the battlefield. You just don't. I think personally the Valkyrie is perfect for its purpose-built deploy troops in a combat zone. Just because CIG got the physics a little bit wrong on its shields and everything else. It's like it's not as tough and it can't survive a drop mission. You need to rethink the armor value, right, on that ship. But its deployability, the fact that it can carry a squad of 20 or 2 squads of 10 and cargo. Like I think there's fewer ships that meet the gameplay, and it's one of the things that brought me to Star Citizen in the first place. The Asgard bringing a tank. Okay, that's nice. It looks like a stretched limo. That, like, honestly, it's a stretched Humvee. It's a prom night thing, so that's what the Asgard's for. Take Groza to prom night. It'll be fun.
See the hatred, it's vitriol. You know what's funny? It's actually described as a variant of the Valkyrie. So
It is.
it's it's basically the same ship. Groza is Mustang overreacting.
Asgard has the problem is that, well, actually the Valk now I think can survive. I think it's got a size 3 shield and its hull got buffed. So I think we are finally at the promised land of being able to use the Valk.
Depends on the pilot, I would say.
Well, I just think that the Asgard has a lot more. It's going to have a lot more use right now, where we're at in the game, because there's just not that necessary like scenario for the Valkyrie, really, right now, kind of. But like, you could drop off a team of 5 at a PAF with a tank in the Asgard. Like, I can do something with that right now, right? But like I don't need to go drop 20 people. So we just need that the valley between the FPS gameplay and the aerial gameplay. It's shrinking. They're really getting close to really meshing, and those are the coolest parts. Is when you find yourself on the ground and there's a aerial battle happening. Those are the coolest moments in Star Citizen. And so they're getting closer. They're getting closer. The distribution centers, they should put a really hard PvE FPS mission inside the distribution centers, because you can drive an Ursa in there for a while, but force us to do the ground stuff, because there's so many cool ground vehicles. So Siege of Orson, just put god tier turrets in a forest on Microtech and say, there's a no-fly zone here. You got to drive 3 kilometers on a path with a team to then execute a mission here and get the people out or something. Make us use some ground vehicles, because that's where,
Yeah, and if I could
Asgard drop a tank in. I mean, come on.
So and if like the idea that for me, the Asgard dropping a tank, dropping armor from a air support vehicle is not a concept in any kind of assault anywhere, right? No one ever dropped a tank as part of the drop force. It came from a C-130. Armor moves separate from air support, right? And as a strategy, as a military force. But to that point, I think that Rosa's right, and that's exactly what I see. The Hawthorne missions, like, I just want to take my Valkyrie with the right gunners in the right turrets and just buzz around and cycle, clearing top level targets while troops are able to run in, right, with that air superiority.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the tumblers and things run in, not the tanks. I think that the rolling stock, not an Ursa, but maybe those tumblers, the tumbler MR or TR or whatever it is, those things are badass. So take your Humvees in there, but not a tank, right?
I think it's interesting. I don't know if y'all had a chance to watch the last Star Citizen live. It was an interview of Jared Huckabee and John Carew. They were talking about ground vehicles and how, like, the question from the Chinese fan base was, is it always going to be the same ground vehicles, or are we thinking futuristic space, ground vehicles? Like, what's the future of ground vehicles? And John basically talks about this directly. He's like, there's not a lot of game loops that require ground assets. So I'm kind of actually between the two of you. Like, I love having the Nova tank in the back. Maybe it becomes like a Nova tank turret. Like, how funny would that be to drop the back and have it shooting at an Idris flying in space? Why not? That'd be hilarious. But there's not, like, even with the worm raid that's coming soon, TM, like, you're going to be flying around. I can't imagine there's going to be a lot of individuals that are going to drop into a tank or some Humvee situation and drive up towards the worm. You fly around. And I guess in that case, probably the Valkyrie, maybe the turrets on an Asgard. But I think the point I'm trying to make is there's not a lot of ground game loops that require it. To Groza's point, give us DCs, right? Give us a distribution center that you have to get into a mount situation and you're having to go from building to building. When we have to do base on base operations, if we're trying to take over another base, like, I can see that. You're having to get into that level of terrain. I can see us bringing out ground vehicles. I think that would be really sexy, but I don't know, we're not there for some of these vehicles. So as sexy as I think the Asgard is, and I'm a Valkyrie fan as well, I don't know. I'd almost rather staff like a Cutlass Steel and have those,
Yeah, I think it's more appropriate. Honestly, I think that the Starlancer TAC right now is what's coming in as the most viable drop ship that I've seen for the game. Except that I'm just going to say this, CIG, you can't show somebody, you can't show them carrying the person in their arms, because the first thing I want to do is carry Groza across the threshold. The animation in that is like spectacular, but like picking up the medics, like the dropping off and picking up with the Starlancer, like that's C-130 Valkyrie in the perfect mix, right? That's a dream ship right there.
Yeah.
I can't wait to staff it and use it for that kind of scenario. I don't know that, to your point, the gameplay's there yet.
Sure. Let's actually transition to some of these newer vehicles. I do want to go to the Idris. So we talked about the Idris last week, but we didn't watch the commercial. We're going to watch the commercial. It's super sexy. Now my guests can't hear, so they're going to watch, but they can't hear it. But you'll be able to hear it. I think it's a very well done production, great audio quality. The voice acting is phenomenal. But I would love to, afterwards, I'd love to hear y'all's responses over the Idris specifically. Is it everything it was cracked up to be? Like, I know we talked about how we used it in the Org Nights. I know we talked about how we're going to let other people fly it, but was it worth the $1,700? And if you got the K kit, was the K kit worth the additional $250, right? $2,000 ship. Is it worth it? So let's go real quick over to the landing page, which y'all can see now. We're going to take a couple seconds to watch the commercial, and then we're going to have at it. So here we go.
Patience. It's not passive. Not idle. It's quiet preparation. Sharpened intention. Resolute to watch and wait. So, you hold against haste, beyond fear, because you trust. From that quiet, your moment will come.
Oh my God. Ugh. I can't help. I cannot help but just sit here and smile during that commercial. Man, it's everything. That is a $2,000 ship commercial. Like, it's extremely well done. But I think it's our first exposure to an org capital ship. You can say the Polaris, you can say E90 Jump, but this thing has it all. It has literally everything. It's a flying hangar. So I will reserve my reactions for after the two of you. But Mustang, let's start with you. We'll go reverse order. I know you don't have one. This is not about ownership and whether or not you're going to be getting one, but from the exposure that you've had to the Idris, the conversations you've had going to the Idris experience at Invictus Launch Week, is this a $2,000 ship?
I think it is. I think, I'm going to say that having not spent $2,000 on it. So
It's fair.
Miss Mustang, don't worry about that. But I got lost, twice inside the showroom thing. Like I spent probably more time trying to find the door out than I did looking around the ship. And I think it's awesome. And I can't wait going back to the sandbox and the G.I. Joe big toy thing, right? This is that thing to bring out on a Saturday morning, and Space Dads, get ready, because this Star Citizen has just created the new Harley Davidson. Like in 5 or so years, everybody's gonna be on Star Citizen instead of a Harley. Like, why spend money on a motorcycle going somewhere when you can buy a digital spaceship and bring all your friends, right? I had that thought the other day. But seriously, it's like it's kind of spectacular, and I can't wait to be a cook inside the Idris somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun. Yeah.
Groza, what do you think, man? You actually own one.
I do own one. I mean, I didn't spend $2,000, so let's get that out the way. I got the war bond for 13 back at IAE.
I love how defensive. Hold on, I love how defensive we all are. We're like, don't tell the wife. It's not 2,000, only 13.
Yeah,
it's still over $1,000. Like,
I mean, what the hell? I mean, like when I was growing up, a PlayStation 2 game was $59.95.
Right.
I don't know what happened here. I mean, it's like it's just so big. It's so big, and like none of the areas feel like they were just sort of quickly done. Like even in the little even in the spaces that have no real function, it's like so much detail.
Yeah.
Like under the stairs on the when you go out the hangar to go up those double stairs to get up to the kind of the B deck. Like there's all these little things on the walls and under the stairs and the windows. Oh my God. My favorite thing, like my favorite sort of experience is when you can just look out a window and see like the mountains of Microtech going by as you're sitting there and someone else is flying the ship. And there's really cool windows on the sides. The cockpit or the bridge or whatever you want to call it. It's definitely not a cockpit, but the bridge is just like totally transparent. It's definitely it's like a monumental achievement of I'm sure there's all sorts of tech involved, all the people that like actually make everything kind of real, right? But like just the visuals of it are really something.
Yeah.
The hangar is, oh my God.
It's well done. Yeah.
Yeah. And like there's on the hangar, there's 3 little pads.
Yep.
And they say 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when the stations keep eating mine, so every time I store it, I come back later, it says it's destroyed. So whatever. But before it gets destroyed, like when I stored it, my ASOP terminal told me that my Gladiuses were on the Hangar 01 of the Idris.
Oh, that's cool.
And Hangar 02, and I was like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, one step closer to calling ships directly onto the Idris, which would be amazing. Yeah. I get nostalgic. Now you'll have to realize, like, yes, I'm a backer. Legatus. We can talk about that. But I also create content. Like, this is a passion of mine. I have a business, like freaking LLC for this podcast. Like, I have an extreme passion. I am nostalgic because this is Squadron 42, right? Like, Squadron 42 takes place for the majority of the time, between a Bengal and Idris's. And it's just exciting. It's exciting to see, like, they did it. They finally did it. They did everything that they said they were going to do. It took 11 years, right? It took a very long time. But every achievement from tech to artist work, to your point, Groza, of it just being layered with detail, this ship has it all. I mean, it has it all. It's a phenomenal vessel.
You can really tell that a lot of people spent a lot of time.
Yes.
And that's like...
Yeah.
That's got to be like the highest praise you can, like, you can tell like a lot of people's, like, I bet some designers and some artists spent long days on very small spaces.
Yeah. I mean, just the LCD screens in the control room alone, like that's probably months worth of creation. So I know this sounds like maybe like a corporate shill or white knighting or whatever you want to call me. But for the CIG listeners out there, congratulations. And I mean that sincerely. Good work. Congratulations. It's a phenomenal product. But for me, I'm excited to get onto that ship and role play, knowing that Squadron 42 is right around the corner and that I'll be doing that like in a single player game that's going to be freaking epic. So I don't know. If you have $1,700 to spend, go pick yourself up an Idris. But it's super expensive. And I think just to remind everybody, you're not only buying a ship and a bunch of pixels to fly around in an org for a community, but you're also backing a 3 installment solo player game. So Squadron 42 is going to be 3 different games. So you're backing that whole endeavor and Star Citizen, right? So it's just, I don't know, a very expensive founder package. Is that fair? I'm trying to justify it.
When you said you're not just buying a digital ship and blah blah blah, I was ready for it to hear like you're also buying friends.
You're buying friends.
And if you're not in a position to throw that much money towards a project like this, then still experience them because there's plenty of people that will. Yep. I mean, if somebody said, "Hey, can I take your Idris out?" I would almost certainly say yes, unless I was actively 100%. Getting it ready for some big thing that people were relying on me to have it ready. Like,
yeah,
just ask people; they'll do it. You can just insurance fraud it later.
Yeah,
and I'll be the white knight and just say, join the org, join Soul Provision, because 60% of the people on this podcast right now own one. So
that's how numbers work. 60%.
Just sign up, come along, and join the crew.
The datum, which is the singular of data, is actually 67%.
Okay, thank you.
Oh God.
But my point is, like, I think going back to the artwork and the amount of time and effort, like, that shows. Like, I was in the hangar the other day and something caught my attention again, and I've seen just inside the hangar, but I keep, this is something that we all see every day when we're walking out, flying out, or wherever. But I still took a screenshot, and I'm like, this, and that's why I'm here. That's why I subscribe to the game. I'm not buying digital spaceships. I'm paying for people to make something that's not out there.
Yeah.
That I think is going to change science fiction forever.
Yeah.
Like this puts people in a different time and space when you can get in the spaceship and fly it around, and it's not something on a 2-dimensional screen. Like, you have a 3-dimensional awareness.
Yeah.
You have a partnership. You have a job to do with Groza and Sulyce or whomever. You have to rely on people. So there's a human dimension brought to this science fiction world and the design that I think is amazing. And yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I do like how they slowed it down. So a little bit of a critique, and I think it's a positive critique, but they slowed it down. It feels like a capital ship. You're not going to solo a bunch of Gladiuses. It'll be a 3-hour long fight, but the Gladiuses will win. They're going to outmaneuver you, right? It is a capital versus capital, an org versus org ship. Don't think you're going to be taking it out, and doing these regular bounty hunting missions with it, or landing planet side and doing mercenary. So temper expectations. but if you do have $2,000 to spend, you can get yours. Here's the additional waves for the Aegis Idris. So as previously mentioned,
use my code.
Yeah. Yeah, and I will say this is not a flex. I think it's like a legitimate call out, but some people have 2 Idrises. I'm not going to say who on this podcast. Some people have 2 because the Javelin, its loaner ship is the Idris. So some people on this podcast have an extra one to give you if you really wanted to fly one. So heads up there. Additional waves for the Aegis Idris. Starting on Friday, May 23rd. So today's Wednesday. By the time this airs, it'll be day of. Yes. So later today. Starting on Friday, 23rd, there's 6 waves. That's more than usual. So 6 waves on Friday, with another 3 waves for Monday, the 26th. Like, there's 9 more chances to get your Idris. So, Steelwicker Beast, have at it, buddy. I'm sure you have a 1 in 9 chance of getting the Idris. So, Mustang, will you be buying one Mustang?
No, because I have friends that have them.
There you
right? Go. So I have the lake house of the pontoon boat, and that's the joke, right? So
yeah,
know the friends who have the things.
Yes.
So in my digital world, I have the friends that have the thing.
There it is.
I've got a Galaxy coming. I'm excited about that.
Those are nice.
But yeah, ship wise, that's a big ship to take out. So
yeah. Complete aside. We don't need to get into the whole conversation, but with the Galaxy, which module do you think you're gonna fly with it most often?
Oh, I don't even know. Like, I just got the.
Okay.
I got the base Dorito
yeah
looking one. So I don't, because modules came out after I bought it, so I haven't even thought that yet.
Yeah, the last time it went on sale, it came, or they also released in the pledge store the module, like the little boxes that come with it. So there's like a cargo version, I think a medical version. There's like I think medical. So there's cargo, medical, and something else.
Cargo, medical, and refinery. I'll be doing cargo.
Yeah.
And most likely I picked the cargo.
Yeah.
To replace something else. But I noticed the other day, and I talked to Groza offline about this all the time. Like, I seem to pick the same purpose-built ships.
Same here.
Everything I have is like either F-150 style. Like, I keep getting the pickup truck of whatever.
Yeah.
And,
I love that.
Yeah. So I need to break out. And so I think I'm going to get a Guardian. It's going to be my next trip. But
yeah.
Well,
I'm looking forward to the Galaxy. That's right around the corner. I think John Crew said, I think it's the Perseus next for the the RSI ships. It's the Perseus next, and then the Galaxy, if I'm not mistaken.
The Perseus is on my Gavin Rothery buy list.
Okay.
So for those who don't know, I'm collecting all the Gavin Rothery ships, which is another reason. Gavin Rothery did not make the Asgard, made the Valkyrie.
Noted.
Right. But yeah,
I always interact with him on Twitter, and then then when he likes my things, I send screenshots of him to Mustang to make him jealous.
Just make me jealous. But no, just a fantastic designer, sci-fi guru. And so the Perseus is definitely on my list. That's probably something that I will go out of pocket for.
Yeah.
It's gonna be I'm looking forward to the Ironclad Assault.
Yeah.
I don't know when that's coming, but that's my next, like, hopium, like, can't wait till it gets here kind of shit.
I mean, Drake Day's in like a couple of days.
Oh
is it going to happen though?
Oh my god.
No,
it's not going to happen.
It's not.
Like,
there's no
way.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a week's vacation. Sorry, sick.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoops. I'm going
Yeah.
to get sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allergies.
I think it's gonna be a good ship, but I do think the Ironclad is like no more special than like the Guardian MX, the Starlancer tag. So I think it would have been included in the showroom floor for this Invictus launch week if it was coming in the next couple of days.
No more special.
No, because Drake's not included in Invictus.
Drake, well, roleplay wise or lore wise, but Drake does have a day. It's the day before the finale.
Yeah, so that's a little bit different this year because usually
Right.
it's technically called Defense Con. But
Right.
Yeah.
some
Right.
of their materials made it look like it was just a different day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see.
See what they do with it, right?
I want to
So-
see if there was. I want to see what happened in the verse to make that happen.
Well, I think the Kraken's coming out. So, all right. Can
All
you
I can say
imagine?
is that there's something to be said in buying a concept ship and waiting.
Yeah.
Getting the loaner and having the expectation, like you have to be good all year, and Santa Claus is going to bring you that big special thing.
Yeah.
And whenever it happens, thank you, Chris Roberts, for dropping that vision on us. It's fun. So
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the investment in the concept ships and seeing them break out. So yeah.
Absolutely. Speaking of release ships, let's get through the Starlancer attack, immediate reactions, the Guardian MX, immediate reactions, and then we have our little debate about the flight blades and the AI blades. So let's get into this real quick. Go and share my screen, and we're going to watch the commercial and react to it. So here we go.
Talk 1, we've softened your approach.
Copy that, Fury 6. Inbound.
Target-rich environment. Bring in the rain. Bandits approaching.
Engaging. Target locked. Fox 3. Inbound to LZ.
Wheels down. Get those troops on board.
Last man aboard. Ramp secure.
Attack 1 dusting off. Fury 6 aboard. Copy that. Welcome back, pilot.
Target rich environment.
Bring
The
the rain.
rain. Somebody who watches military movies created this commercial. Hey, so before reactions, this I think goes exactly to what we were talking about earlier, a ground assault where you're surrounded by the air assets. Groza, I think you published a video where you were doing an org night with a couple of our supervision individuals. The Polaris was being engaged, and y'all went to a rooftop and like Fallujah type stuff. Crazy, crazy engagements. But yeah, that commercial, man, that is what I want to see out of a ground mission. Thoughts? Or no
Go
thoughts?
ahead, Mustang.
Yes, that's exactly what I want to see. The thing that I caught out of that ad, and this is a veteran of Star Citizen, was that there were our ground forces didn't have helmets. They were cradle carrying people. So I caught a bunch of things that sort of you can't do in the game. But not to say that like I loved every second of the purpose of the TAC. That's exactly what I was talking about with the Valkyrie earlier. C-130 gunship coming in, flying and providing air cover. My only other criticism was that it was Buccaneers that were going up against it. They got shot down because those are my other favorite fighter ships. So,
Sure.
like, yeah, there's a love-hate with that commercial, but like, I think the animation's brilliant. I think the TAC is awesome, and I love it. And you saw the ground fighting atlases in the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna jump out. Like, bring it, guys. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Like, just give me an Iron Man suit, let them jump out and airlift down. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yep. Yeah, I think that got by a lot of the community, but there is a combat atlas that is coming out.
Yeah.
So it's not a leak anymore. It's official.
Yeah.
So, Groza, your thoughts? Did you end up getting one? Remind me. I know you upgraded yours Mustang to attack, right? You're maxed to the TAC.
I bought the TAC and had the loaner as the max.
That's right.
Right. So I was waiting, and so when it came out, it switched over for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Groza, your reactions.
Thank you so much. I have not purchased this. Mustang and my friend Trouble have one, so I'm trying really hard this ILW to remember that my thought was to not own too many ships because on the pledge store. And so I melted a bunch of stuff that I am already missing a lot to get the Idris back. And I'm trying really hard to like experience the game through other people having the ship too. Just for a couple different reasons, to be honest. My reactions to the video, I really I can't explain that too much, but like when you create narratives that are just existing inside of like already pre-built larger worlds, it's a really cool way to like, it's like a minute and it was a minute and 41 seconds.
Yeah.
And like we just got a perfect little narrative in there, right? That's one scenario, right? But like it existed in something that felt a lot bigger already. So great job on the team for that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I get it. Mustang wants to be able to carry me, but like, guys, I just bow and dance are my most used emojis or emotes already in the game, and both of those are disabled right now. Like, Groza loves to do like a little curtsy thing when she opens her ship door and people come on. She's always bowing like that for them, and that got removed. And dancing is out. So like, yeah, I get it. We want to pick people up, but like, let's just get those emotes back in, please. The dude who like grabbed the arclight pistol off the fallen fella and was nice, shooting, like that guy's a total Chad. That guy's a Chad. And then great option on the Orc MX desert. I love the fashion of everybody. I noticed the fact that all the people inside the TAC were just dressed in clothes. I thought that was a cool touch. Yeah, it was just a great little snippet of a battle that was just perfect. Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go to Squadron 42 here, but if the production quality on these commercials are any indication on what we're going to see next year, Squadron 42, I think we're in for something special. Like I truly do. That was a minute and 41 seconds to Groza's point of, I think, a phenomenal commercial, which, by the way, I gift the middle finger, by the way.
Do you remember what happened in the world when Halo Combat Evolved came out? Like, do you remember the shift? Like how that was like a clear, evolution in the gaming world. Like I feel like, it's very possible that Squadron 42 does something similar to that.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. On a scale,
they just have to. Hopefully, they just found that balance where it's not sort of the modern FPS overly cinematic constantly thing, where it's more just like a movie that you just sort of there's a weird balance there, and I feel like I think it'll be all right. I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be just some movie you play through quick.
I hope so. The not to get completely off topic, but the CitizenCon video we watched, or the Squadron 42 playing demo, that did seem very like scripted. Like, I know they were playing towards the end of it, but it did seem very scripted for that long time that they were playing. So
As a prologue, though, surely.
it is. It is. We're going to find out. We're going to find out in a couple months, which I'm sure all three of us will be playing.
If I can say, like, knowing what the org gets into and what we do and with the way Star Citizen is today, I think that the Starlancer TAC is one of the perfect ships to have all of those moments in, like the
Yes.
success and the failures of the game working against you, right? All of those challenges that you have to work your way through. I think the Starlancer TAC crewed will be one of the most fun ships to be on for the next 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
Like until something better comes out, which I don't know what that's going to be, but like that ship is the perfect size. The mission sets are the perfect working capability. That's the ship that you're going to have those kind of moments where you're like, oh my God, is it going to work? Is it going to work? It worked, or
Yeah.
it didn't work. And you're going to try again. Like that's the stuff that brings us back day in and day out.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's a really great point. The Idris, like, again, we had 25 people on Org Nights last Thursday. You are probably going to be completely spread out in an Idris, right? Like you might run into each other once every 10, 15, 20 seconds. But I like how the TAC puts that group in a very intimate space. Like you are working shoulder to shoulder, whether you're in the med bed or whether you're up in one of the turrets. Like I do feel like that's a better kind of Org Night experience at this current moment. So I think that's a good point, Mustang. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. It's got a med bed on it. Like it's so hard to turn away from a med bed opportunity.
And
I think
the bay looks really good too. The med area looks really good.
Agreed.
So like when you go through the cargo bay, you've got to lock through the door so you can secure the med bay. But then you get to the med bay, then you get to the gunners, then you get to the drop seat side, right? And then the next spot forward is your passage up to the upper deck. It's really well thought out, and to Groza's point about the Idris earlier, like they're nuanced details. Like I spent a lot of time looking at the art and the decals and all the silly shapes on these ships, and I've spent more time looking at it in the hangar than I have taken it flying around. It's a fun ship, and those turret guns are big. Oh my gosh.
Well, and let's also not forget that there's a Fury garage or hangar on the top of there.
And the Argo MPUVs, they don't fit. I tried. I've spent about an hour trying to say what else will fit.
Yep.
Just the Fury.
It's still pretty good. It's a good option if you needed a bug out real quick. So
yeah.
Speaking of Furies, it's not a Fury, but it's the Guardian MX. So we had another ship released, and this is our last one that we're going to be going through for today's podcast. We might have surprises between now and the end of Invictus Launch Week, but we'll find out as the days progress. We still have Anvil, and we still have the Drake Day and the Finale Day. Nothing really new ever happens on the Finale Day, but who knows? I've been wrong before. Guardian MX. I don't even want to tease this. I want to go straight into the commercial. I do have a strong opinion about one aspect that they left out, which I'm probably sure everybody already knows it by this point. But let's watch the commercial. If they have a commercial. They have a commercial, don't they?
Yeah.
I think it was just behind, wasn't it? Behind the ships?
It might have been just the behind the ships. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll leave this up, right? So we have some visual to talk through. But the Guardian MX. So there's 3 different Guardians, right? You have the Guardian base model. You have the Guardian QI, which is the quantum dampening version. And now you've got this Guardian MX. It's the weaponized version. Looks sexy. The aesthetics on it look great. The firepower looks great. But it is missing something. It's missing a bed. And that's one of the main reasons why I got the Guardian QI. One, I didn't have a quantum dampening ship. I used to have the Antares, but I went back to the regular Scorpius. So okay, there's that story. But I wanted to have that. But I also wanted to have a combat ship that I could bedlog out of. And so I don't think I'm going to be upgrading my QI to the MX. Groza, let's start with you. Did that weigh on your opinions or how you feel about the ship? Yeah.
No. You can't have it all, Sulyce.
That's why I like the regular Guardian.
You want 5 size 10 torps with it too, do you? No, I mean, like for me, so I've been claiming that I haven't actually bought it. I mean, that's technically true. I do have a CCU chain that's about 80% complete to it, but I haven't bought it yet. I mean, it looks really cool. I mean, that's the price. It looks really cool.
It does.
I actually think it's kind of cooler to I actually think it's kind of cooler to not have that little interior. Although the interior is quite the whole Guardian series is very cool. I owned I think a Guardian Chi. I always call it Chi, like Chi, you know.
Yeah.
But no, it's definitely not called that. I owned a QI for a while. It just doesn't quite have. I'm pretty I either want to take an MSR or a cockpit fighter. Like I don't like some of those smaller ones that kind of have an inside, but you can't fit like a vehicle in. That doesn't really, well, I don't know. I'm probably going to have one of these.
Yeah.
It's it's the 4 guns is a big deal. I may even just be visually, I don't know, but I like it a lot. It has the same blast shield that the Fury MX has, and it's the way it's really cool the way that they work.
Oh,
it's
cool.
This blast shield that comes down with cameras pointing out, and then what you see are screens displaying what the cameras are picking up in real time.
Oh, that's cool. I guess I didn't realize it.
You can see it right there. Oh, I just pointed at the screen.
Yeah. Nice.
But
no, I saw it.
And that's really cool. This is also sort of 2 years ago was my first ILW. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And that's when the Fury came out. And so the Fury was actually I think it was my first addition to my fleet. And it just sort of always has a special little place in my heart. And this is very reminiscent of that. I've enjoyed watching Dan McCabe's journey through ship design. It started with the Fury.
Yeah.
And then it was Polaris 1, baby.
Yeah.
And I think he was on the MTC, right? The Greycat.
Yeah.
Right now.
You did this solid too, right?
Yes.
Sulin.
The Sulin. Yeah.
Sulin.
Yeah. Mustang, what are your thoughts, man? I think, I don't know. That's why I don't have, well, okay, to be fair, I don't have the Furies. I do have the Furies. I will never fly them because they don't have quantum travel. Like you can't quantum travel with a Fury. So that's a little annoying. But I don't know. I have standards, Groza. I have like
I don't.
I have bars. I have bars of excellence. Mustang, what do you think?
I'm thinking, so that's why you've got Groza and Mustang. We will always fly a Fury for you.
Yeah.
Because I remember the night we stuck 2 Furies in, what was that, a Phoenix something, when we were trying to leave Orson in one of your ships, and we were like, maybe it was the 890, but we were like, okay, we can pack in here, and like I love the TIE Fighter. Sort of theme of the ships, and I'm thinking I'm gonna upgrade or trade in because I like the cockpit space. I don't like so I've got an F8C and I'm thinking about switching it over to a Guardian.
Wow.
Simply so I can get out and have a drink, right? The thing I don't like is being stuck in a cockpit and not being able to sort of, because the game needs you to go distance. The game needs you to do some things. And so if you can't drink while you're sitting down in the seat, I need something else. And to your point, I like the bed. To Groza's point, I like the 4 guns.
Yeah.
So I pulled both of them out. I rented them for this ILW, and like had them sitting side by side, and I'm in one. I get out and I go and look in the other one, and I'm doing all the different things side by side. I'm the worst test pilot ever, flying them around in my hangar, shooting at shit. But I love the 4 guns. But I love the bed. So CIG, make me one in the middle.
Yeah.
Make me one in the middle and charge me double for it. And Groza's going to buy it for me, and I'll win it as a player.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think if I were to have to do it all over again, I would reset my QI back down to the base, because I think quantum dampening is purely PvP at this current moment. Like, I don't see any NPCs trying to quantum away from you, right? So the amount of I've never used my quantum dampener ever. So there's a part of me that kind of wants to get out of the QI because I'm kind of stuck in that world. But again, if I were to upgrade to the MX, like, I have to bed log. I only have at times 15 minutes to jump in and play. Yeah. So having to figure out how to pull out the ship, all the things that we talk about, right? Pull out the ship, get to a hangar, fly away, do what I need to do, fly back to an orbital station, park it so I don't lose it. Like, I don't have sometimes more than 15 minutes to play. Whereas today, perfect example.
Park it on your Idris.
Yeah. I mean, that alone
I was
is
about
like
to say, Groza and I spent 15 minutes trying to figure out what we're going to wear.
Yeah. Before like an organite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or just anytime. Like, hey, look at what I'm wearing.
Yeah. Screenshots of people in armor. I'm like, okay, cool.
Well, it's our paper doll sim.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think like today was a perfect example. I've been flying the Guardian QI lately. I've been doing the ambush missions with the Guardian QI. I was able to log in. I was bed logged already. So I was already in the yellow asteroid belt. So I logged in, did 2 of them, and then I bed logged immediately after 15 minutes. And I went back to work. Right? Like that. I can't do that if I'm in a Guardian MX. So I don't know. But the Guardian MX is better. Like, it looks better. It has better firepower. I get it.
I really like the angled missile launchers that just like the Firebird shoots down, these shoot up, and that it's just really cool.
Yeah. Really cool. I think they're doing really well with the new ships that they're releasing. So well that you can modify them. Okay. Look at that segue. Freaking vehicle modifications. Okay. Last week, if you want to get into the context of this, listen to last week's episode. I kind of want to fast forward it because we are about an hour and a half into the podcast. I want to get into the actual CIG response and then discuss between the 3 of us. But long story short, AI Blades was not released. That's something that is different, right? This is Flight Blades. It's tuning. It's changing the behavior of your ship. So if you want to take a Titan Avenger, which is what you see on my screen, if you want to take a Titan Avenger and make it just a little bit faster on the straight line speed, boom, there's a speed module that you can put on it. Or if you wanted it to be a little bit more nimble, a little bit more precise whenever you're trying to control it, there is a precision kit or module that you can put on it. So right now they are in their infant stages of tuning your ship. But the drama comes in. I don't even think it's about tuning your ship or modifying it. Like, I don't even think that's a thing. I think it's more about how it was gated behind actual money, that you had to spend USD or whatever currency you're in. You had to spend real money in order to upgrade your ship. It is the purest definition of pay to win. Like, by definition, that is pay to win. If you want to get a better performing ship, you could spend $35 and get your hammerhead to move a little bit faster or be a little bit more nimble. You weren't able to get it in game. So I think that is the truest sense of the conflict. It wasn't necessarily that people can modify their ships. I think that's expected. That's going to happen in the future. But I want to get through CIG's response to all the pushback, and it was significant pushback. Like enough so that the very next day Xylo or Tyler Woodkin is responding to this. So here we go. I'm going to quote this and then we'll talk. Throughout Star Citizen's evolution, one fundamental principle has remained paramount. Everything you pledge for to support. And I love how there's a GIF down here. Like, I can't make it bigger. So as I'm talking, it's got the Star, right? It's got the Star Trek guy like burying his head in his face. So let's try to get through this without without the meme. Everything you pledge for us to support our development will eventually be attainable through gameplay. Your contribution helps push things forward, but your time in the verse should be equally rewarded. We're pushing 11 patches this year instead of just 4. We're crushing more bugs than ever, building more exciting content, moving faster than ever to make the persistent universe a better experience for everyone. And in moving that fast, we missed a step. All right, so pause. CIG openly admitting that they made a mistake. I think that's a really good first step, right? They tripped over their own feet. They got in their own way. They became a huge article from PC Gamer. They wrote an entire hit piece on how Star Citizen is a scam because of this pay to win. So we have CIG acknowledging that they missed a step. I think that's huge. Back to the article. To be clear, the new flight blades will be obtainable for UEC in our next patch this June. All right, so there's your response, your answer in just a couple of weeks. We follow our usual approach by offering early access on the Pledge Store to help support development, but after some reflection, we've decided that for smaller components, like flight blades or bomb racks, they should be available in-game at the same time that they appear on the store. The choice has and should always be yours. If you want to support the project early, you can, but it's not required. If you own a game package, you'll be able to pick these up with in-game currency in our next monthly patch, so 4.2. And for future gameplay kit introductions, we'll ensure these items are attainable in-game on day one. Thanks to everyone who weighed in, especially those who brought the heat constructively. This game has always been shaped by the community. Star Citizen wouldn't exist without your passion and support, or your scrutiny and feedback. We hear you, and we take it all to heart. So I think that that's a very well done article. Tyler Whitkin, congrats, like good work. I think that is the right approach. Admitting that that was a dumbass thing to do right after a high mark. Idris, right? Idris releases, hey, we should be celebrating the shit out of this. And then they literally launched the definition of pay to win. So I think it's a good response. Let's open up the floor. What are our thoughts? How did we react initially? How are we feeling now? What are our thoughts?
I was going to do the same thing. So I go back, like, I missed the Blades thing to begin with until I caught your podcast talking about it. So, like, I hadn't seen anything about it or heard anything about it just because I've been heads down, busy day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. And I'm annoyed a little bit that that kind of what's the word? I don't know. Whatever they're trying to do on the heels of a success like the Idris being launched. Initially I thought, okay, well, this is going to be like Eve, where you have to figure out what components match well. But then when I went to the store after seeing your Beyond the Verse podcast, there was only like 2 or 3 ships. Like, it was very limited. And then I was like, well, I don't own any of these ships. This isn't any good. And then I started thinking, well, this is like a master modes thing. And it started deviating away from the amount of time I spent learning to fly a spaceship, the amount of time I spent on peripherals to get better playing this game. Because you don't get better playing Call of Duty, right? You're either good or you're not good. Star Citizen, you have to become a good pilot.
Yeah.
Right? You used to. Master modes kind of put a big gap in that where, you close that down a little bit. But all that to say, I still kind of look at it that way. Like, look, bring it. If you want to spend 30, 60, 90 bucks on your Avenger 1 and come after me and my Valkyrie, bring it. Bring it. I'm going to fill mine up with 20 people. We're all going to jump out and shoot you with Coda pistols. And we're going to kick your ass.
Yeah, I love that.
So my whole point is, like, I think I like the idea of Star Citizen being about skill.
Yeah.
I like it. I like that you have to get to build to it and augment. I like the strategy of doing that and prepping your load for the mission.
Yeah.
But but don't try to charge me $30 to make my ship go a little bit faster. I think that's not where I'm going to put my money.
Yeah.
I will spend money all day long on the artists and the designers and the story and the lore, not the gimmicky shit like that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. Well, I'm going to react to that real quick, and then Groza, it's yours. But like that, like, why play the game when this launches? Like, if 1.0, if 1.0 launches tomorrow and you have bought everything, you have every ship, every flight blade, every AI blade, 1.0 launches tomorrow, why are you playing? Everything's free. Everything is lifetime insured. So what are you doing? For me, like, I have spent all my real money on capital ships, like the biggest, and I start working my way down because I don't want to like spend 6 years. I'll be dead by then. Like, I don't want to spend 6 years getting a Bengal or a Javelin, right? So I think getting like in-game money to buy the flight blades, to buy the modules, to buy components, in-game currency, that's why I would play outside of org play, outside of our massive org nights, of course. But if you buy everything with real money, what's the incentive? Like, what are you playing for? Armor? I guess because World of Warcraft, you're trying to get like the best armor. I don't know. I don't understand people. I'm not judging. I just don't understand people that would spend $35 on a Hammerhead flight blade. Like, just, it's not going to change your ship that much. Save your money. My 2 cents. Groza, I know you bought one.
Well, I guess I'm gonna go delete my account. My God, what is wrong with you people? Like,
it's a good segue.
Okay, so I personally am not offended that they did this at all.
Yeah.
I don't think this was that big of a deal. I think what I understand that I do understand, and that there's a point to that I get the point. If when they're locking like actual content or like features behind a paywall, I get that to some extent, but also like we got the Atlas in game very promptly.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been getting stuff in game pretty quickly. I didn't feel like there was some intimation that we weren't going to be getting these available in game quickly. I actually bought the Warbond Gladius one because I really liked the paint on the Gladius.
Yeah.
And then but then I actually started using them. I disagree that they are a gimmick. I'm really happy with mine. I own 2 Gladiuses that are both unmeltable. One was an upgrade from a referral bonus, Merlin, and the other one I was graciously given after a screenshot contest from CIG. And so I had been planning on upgrading one of my Gladiuses and then kind of just upgrading some. I was going to upgrade my Gladius to something, and I already have that thing, so I was going to move that one up to something else.
Yeah.
But like, I equipped, but now I have the Idris, so I have a hanger to put the Gladius. So, and like, it's not necessarily pay to win, because the flight one, the forward one, the one that makes you faster, makes you less maneuverable. So you're taking your directional thrust down a little bit in order to be able to go in a straight line faster. Conversely, there's a $7 word. The one that makes you more maneuverable decreases your top speed. So it's not. I mean, arguably, it's not like it just makes your ship better. You just get to nudge it in a certain direction a little bit, at least with the flight ones. I'm sure they'll become more complicated later.
Yeah.
What I did was I put the dark gray and red paint on one of the Gladiuses, and I'm sure that I know the paint doesn't matter, but it does to me. All right. I put all ballistics on it, and I put all stealth components on it. And so I gave that one the extra speed blade, because my thought was that one was going to be the more stealthy one. Ballistics, like, you want to get in, do your attack, get out. And then go back in and out, right? So you want the top speed to be higher so that you can get out, fall off the radar, come back in, right? That's like the stealth combat thingy. My other Gladius, I put Little Boy Blue Invictus paint on, and which I've always that's been my favorite paint for
It's a
a
good
long
paint
time
job.
on that.
Yeah.
I put like bigger energy weapons, more competition stuff, which is the higher emission stuff. I don't care about stealth at all, and I used the bigger shields or the better shields, and then I put the more maneuvering blade on that one because my thought is that that's the one that's going to sit in fights and needs to tank more and will tank more. So that needs to be able to maneuver faster to stay to, because you're in the fight, right?
Yeah.
And so now I have these two Gladiuses, and they both serve kind of different purposes now. And the flight blades helped me accomplish that. So thank you very much, CIG. I have positively enjoyed the ability to purchase a war bond for the Gladius, get a cool paint, and got to play with a new toy before other people did because I purchased it. And I gave some more money to the project, and I probably paid for an hour of some developer's time. And okay, sue me.
Yeah.
Like what? You guys don't have to. We have free will. That's what I don't get. Like these people are going all crazy about stuff. It's like, hey, or like they'll, the people that say it's a scam. It's like, hey, checking in here. I'm just exercising free will. Thanks, but not a scam.
Yeah.
Just flexing the free will muscle is all. So I disagree with basically 80% of the Star Citizen community who got really mad, and also the emoji reacts on the posts on Spectrum were pretty funny. And
hilarious.
it's fine. It's a bit of a blunder. I really didn't think it was that big of a deal. I didn't find there to be some ethical issue with it. I mean,
how much could you tweak between when you buy a blade, like maneuverability over speed, for instance? Like how much are you in control, or is that like is it binary?
It's a static at this point in time. The maneuverability one does a set amount over, and then the speed one does a set amount. You can't change the the parameters of it.
Yeah.
So as a consumer and not a backer, as a consumer, what I would say is like where I would really buy into this as a store item, it would be like this one goes here and that one goes there kind of Han Solo moment. Like if I could buy small components for less amount of money, maybe not $30 a pop, but like the $7, like the armor price or the gun price that's on the store. If I could buy some small component that nudges it, tweak this, but when I tweak that with this and I put 2 fuses in this spot, when there's strategy around it, that's when I'll engage, right? When there's thought to it more than just buy it and go with Go Faster paint. But
well, I think I did that because I outfitted my Gladius with a stealth build.
Oh, you're the person I go to. Yeah. You're the strategy guy. What do I need to put on my ship?
I think the other thing was in my quest to get the Scorpius paint as well. I was looking at the offerings, and they had that new missile turret for the Scorpius. The Scorpius was one of the things I had to melt. Again, I have another CCU chain that's about to get completed for a Scorpius. I'm such an idiot. I'm such a liar too. I am totally buying more ships. I don't even realize that.
Money.
But anyways, you got the paint with the missile turret for the Scorpius too, right? Yeah. I haven't tested it yet, but allegedly the missile turret just adds more missiles to the pilot. I probably shouldn't have even said that. Haven't tested, seen no proof. I read it somewhere, all right, on the internet. But I think when I was looking at that, I thought to myself, like, they did tell us that modularity was kind of starting.
Yeah.
And modularity started with the Retaliator.
Yep.
And I think that missile turret is an example of modularity. Yeah. You're turning your Scorpius into a certain type of thing, if this is true, just a beefy solo thing, right?
Yeah.
And so I kind of like when I realized that with the turret, it kind of made it click for me for the blades. Like I view them more as like a little bit of a modularity option than make your ships better. It's more like, no, my ship's different. Like my Gladius flies a little bit different than a stock one, and it also flies even more different than the other one. And I just
Yeah.
think I just have no problem with that at all.
That goes back to Sulyce's like Jeep comment on the last podcast, right? It's like we're gonna upgrade this, and my front bumper, my winch is gonna be different than your winch. My cargo rack's gonna be different than your cargo rack, but all purpose built to do its thing.
Yeah.
Also, I'm so afraid that I just upset Greasy Khaleesi. I still love you, Greasy.
Oh.
I think you make a good point though. Like I think bringing up the Retaliator, like there was not this outrage when the Retaliator introduced modules, like replacing the modules, like, you know, the extra missiles for like a combat variant or the cargo for a cargo variant for the Retaliator. Like that's not entirely different. It's in fact that's completely different. You're changing the entire functionality of the Retaliator. Whereas if you're just changing the speed on your Gladius, like I don't know, why was there such a different outrage for this compared to the Retaliator? You can't buy the Retaliator modules in game, I don't think, or can you?
Yeah, I was just about to say, and you can already buy the modules in game.
Oh, maybe that's the difference then. So maybe that's the difference is that it wasn't locked behind.
It wasn't immediate. I think the modules came out on Pledge Store first, but
okay.
I mean, they probably should have. They probably just should have been like, take the first step. Join us on the first step towards modularity across other ships too, right? If they maybe they could. I don't know. I'm not a marketing guy, but but the only thing I will say is like, why does the MPUV have a flight blade available in the store?
They probably,
what?
I don't know.
You know what I'd like to see.
And who's tuning their Avenger Titan?
I want the speed blade on my. I want the speed blade on my Argo.
But if you could go back and like if it's like a Tiger Claw kind of thing where you could plug and play, like you could carry a different blade on your kit or in your ship, and based on what you're about to get into, you could plug and play and switch the blade to meet that immediate need. That I can see, like I need more of those.
Yeah.
Right.
Like engineering real-time modularity.
Yeah. Like, hey, switch the blade. We're about to get into this kind of shit versus that kind of shit. Then now you need a blade guy. Yeah. Right. You need like a medic back there for the ship kind of running the stuff. And then when the ships blow up, you get to loot blades. That's a whole new CIG. Call me.
I got ideas. Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't necessarily understand the outrage. The pay to win, I think is whether it is dramatic or it's not. I think some of the community saw it as like a slippery slope. Like if we don't step out and say something now, is it going to get worse? Right? Do they think it's just okay? And so I think that might be some of the proactive outrage, but I'm with you, Groza. Like at the end of the day, it's negligible tweaks. Like I understand it as negligible. Like it's not like you're making your ship twice as fast. It's not like you're going to be able to take your Polaris and make it outmaneuver a Gladius, right? Like I think it's negligible. But it's just changing the behavior. I think we all need to just calm down a little bit. Not us three, but just the community needs to like take a breath.
I'm not calming down.
I do what I want.
Like, yeah. Yes, he does. Yeah. But like, if it's not going to change armor, like if I go at you and I shoot you with a big gun, it's not going to protect you from that big gun, right?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, you're not. In that case, I think it's
good discussion. I would love to hear more people like respond to the comment section. I'm not going to ask it as a poll, but respond to the comment section. I would love to hear what the listeners feel about this, if it really is that big of a deal. Because again, to be very fair, a lot of social media is driven by sensationalism. So the salty mics, and that's not a hit on Salty Mike, but the hit pieces of like, this game's a scam. What was CIG thinking? Like, I think the majority of people are kind of approaching this as like a kind of weary, but like, I think it's going to be okay. I think CIG has stubbed their toe a few times now, and they've been okay. But I would love to hear what the average listener, the average gamer, feels about vehicle modification. We are very long into this podcast, but we will get through. And Mustang, please let me know. I Discord messaged y'all. I think Groza responded, but if you need to pop out, please let us know. But we do have, let me just pause. Mustang, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, we'll wrap this up in a couple of minutes. I do want to get through the roadmap roundup or the roadmap updates for the new column section. So 4.2 right now is an Evocati. I was actually able to get in and test Evocati for a little bit. It's all under NDA, so I can't get into what it was, but you'll see some of the items here. So it is live in Evocati right now. We are very close to 4.2. Relatively. So 4.2 is going to be a June release. It'll easily be a June release. But let's take a look at what is coming. I'm going to list through just the bolded like highlights, and then Groza, Mustang, anything that stands out to you. Let's talk about it, and then we'll wrap up the podcast. So new column 4.2, what we can expect in June. New creatures, but note that it's multiple new creatures, not just one race or one creature. It's going to be multiple new creatures. So that's cool. New hairstyles. Again, that's the third patch. I knew it. New hairstyles. That's the third patch in a row where we're getting more Groza-esque items. So exciting there. Radiation. The ASD research facility and the ASD data center. A sandbox activity, which I know what that is. The Argo Atlas IKTI. That's the combat variant that we were just talking about. So that is official. That's happening. The Wicklow Special Ships is being updated. The Volt Laser Shotgun. The Sterling Exploration Suit. That's cool. New heavy armor build. Dynamic Rain. Guys, this is not a leak because it literally says it right here. But if you were to go anywhere on social media for like more than 5 minutes,
it's crazy.
You're going to find it. Yeah.
It's crazy.
There's leaks. I don't know if it's leaks. I don't know if it's leaks or if it's QA that is purposely, throwing this out there. I don't know who's doing it, but there's videos of flying around in rain clouds, in Pyro. And to Groza's comments, it's very astonishing. Because you have to remember, like, a lot of solo single player games maybe have this quality, but not open world. You would never see this in like World of Warcraft or New World or Elder Scrolls Online. But this being an open world MMO, the lightning, the thunderstorms, the clouds, somebody who suffers from thalassophobia, it is not fun to watch because it's frightening. But it's incredible. So I can't wait. I'm getting ahead of myself. Should not have already talked about it. New global event. I know what this is. Super excited about that. And then new space combat missions. Defend. So we've had Ambush be announced. Now we have Defend. And then we have a new medium utility armor that is also coming out. So,
legendary. A new legendary.
Oh, there you go. Legendary medium utility armor. Good call out. I didn't even notice the legendary piece. So let's go with Mustang first. Mustang, anything that stands out to you is like, wow, can't wait to see it, can't wait to do it. And then Groza, of course, and we'll wrap it up.
I'll be fast. The
Sure.
combat variant of the Atlas, like
Mech Warrior.
I go back to like, what is it? The Matrix Revolutions.
Yes.
And the base defend kind of like ballistic gun thing. That would be so much fun, especially in the Starlancer attack or the Valkyrie. Not in the Asgard, not as much.
Full circle. We've gone full circle with Mustang.
You're welcome.
We have lost. Mustang. No, I agree. I think that's awesome. We saw kind of the preview of it in Wicklow's museum. I think it was like a lot of like, I don't know, suspicion, but it's pretty obvious. If it's already created in game and it's right there in front of you, it's probably going to become a thing. And so that's exciting. It's exciting. Groza, besides the hairstyles, what excites you?
I'm
The
looking forward to
legendary armor.
I'm looking forward
The
to
drip.
the new activities. I mean, honestly, they're really doing a great job with the content and the stuff to do, because
Yep.
I still like doing contested zones. I still want us to keep doing the Hathor stuff.
Yeah.
And so to get more stuff to do is gonna be awesome. I want to give a little shout out to Info Runners, because they posted a tweet earlier today, which was Wednesday, May 21st, 29:55. And they noticed something very specific on the arm of one of those Atlas combat thingies, and I would like people to perhaps,
Yep.
I mean, they should go look at their tweet and give that some attention, because it's a pretty solid clue about, we think, maybe when that's going to happen, and that's a really cool thing.
Are you not going to say it?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's some alien stuff on there's like some alien writing on the arm of the Atlas that they clipped from that tech video, and so it sort of seems like maybe Alien Week might have something to do with this. So that's pretty cool. I just
Interesting.
think it's really cool that they caught that. So I wanted to give them a little bit of recognition for that.
So I saw a different tweet that had a prosthetic. Like there was a character that had a prosthetic hand. And so there was some, and you see posters when you walk around like Orson, you walk around Area 18, there's posters that highlight like prosthetic additions to the body. So there's like this idea of like cyberpunk, like creating like modularity within your body, which I thought was super interesting. But that was actually in one of the videos as well. Like somebody had a prosthetic or a robotic hand. I thought that's what you were going with, but the alien writing's cool too.
Alien writing from Inforunners. I saw that from Citizen of the Verse. I saw that hand thing.
The hand, yeah.
I can't wait. Hey, you know what, CLG? Put it on the pledge store. I'll buy it for a war bond.
$35. Let's go. I love our ability to wrap up in full circle. Yeah, I think the rain. I think the rain has the ability to really kind of make the worlds even more realistic already than they already are. There's something about being in Pyro and just being on a very drab planet, and all of a sudden a thunderstorm comes rolling. Like, can you imagine doing Jump Town or the Hathor missions and you just see this thundercloud approaching and you're like, it's about to get bad. Like we're going to lose visibility. It's going to be hard to see things. We now have to consider weather in our operation orders, right? Like, I think that's going to be pretty cool. I think it'll play into exploration. I think it'll play into meteorology. I think has a potential in this game, to really impact flying.
Just think about all the different ways that like ambiance and scenery has impacted your experience in the game already.
Yes.
And then multiply it by probably like 5, because the sounds, the visuals, I mean, I probably will jump at some point in time to a thunder.
Yep.
I can see that happening.
Yeah. I was thinking actually today that I haven't seen, my ship hasn't blown away in a storm. But I also haven't been on Microtech in a long time, but I haven't had that weather experience. But to Groza's point, like one of my favorite moments of Star Citizen was being on a moon and the sun coming up.
Oh yeah.
I can't imagine what it's going to be like when I'm in a weather storm. I've seen the clouds coming in on wherever I'm going in Atmo, but it reminds me a little bit of like how awesome Red Dead 2 is.
Yeah.
Right? When the storms are off in the background. So I'm super excited to see that take a play in, like you were saying, the Met TC of a Jump Town or a dogfight. Right? And imagine your ship, like you're trying to dodge getting shot at by somebody like Groza or some kind of flyby that he's going to do, and then you get hit by lightning. You're still going to blame Groza. But
yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Lightning strikes.
You're right. I am like an active god, aren't I?
Oh God. That's what you heard. That's what you got out of it. I'll tell you what.
I want to say what I want to give one more thing. The MTC, that comes out, it gets overshadowed obviously by the Idris. So the people that worked on that MTC, like, I don't know, I've driven it around a lot. The outside looks so cool. The box rotating thing, kind of like the Fortune, like that'll be cool.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to need it. I can't wait to like want to use it. I can't
Yeah.
wait. Like it's going to be so good. It handles great. But the inside of it is really pretty and cool. And I really like the ground vehicles. So I
Yeah.
just think that they should also know that they were very successful with that launch as well.
Yep.
If I could second that, I would say I agree. It's shorter, looks more nimble, it's faster. I can't wait to see it at the rally at the end of the year. Like I think the Grand Prix or whatever the event's called.
Yeah.
On Daymar, the rally on Daymar. I think
The Daymar Rally.
yeah. Thanks.
I got you.
I think that's going to be a whole lot of fun. So, Groza,
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear you enter that again.
Yeah.
You can fly it out of Valkyrie.
Absolutely.
I love it. I'll end on this note. We kind of hit on it, but I just want to share what I think is possible in this game. So if you listen from episode 1, me and Conniff were talking about first impressions of the game, and I remember describing the story of happening across a derelict shipwreckage, like out in space. And I remember floating around inside, Zero G, obviously trying to find intel. It was an investigation mission. And I remember it just being dark and dreary. And it was either my brother, I forgot who I was playing with at the time, but they were doing things outside the ship and causing noises. And I remember hearing those noises reverberate through the ship. And I'm like, man, this game has the potential of being super scary. Okay. Fast forward with me. All right, if you're listening on podcast, and if you're driving, don't close your eyes. Okay. But if you're listening on podcast, like just imagine this with me, right? Fast forward to weather. So you are on a derelict, you're on a planet, but you're at a derelict site. It's a crashed caterpillar, and you're there and you're trying to find the, intel on a person's body or a box. A storm starts brewing, thunder, right? You hear lightning, or you see lightning, you hear thunder. It's starting to creep in. Okay. Whatever. So you start hurrying up because you're like, man, it's about to get bad. I can't hear anything. But also CIG has launched aliens. So aliens are also here. So now you've got the fear of like human interaction PvP. You got the fear of aliens and their many different forms. And you're in the middle of a godforsaken planet all by yourself. You will not experience that in any other game. There is not, like, in my opinion, that is open world that has the capability of having literally anything happen to you at any given time. And I think seeing the rain coming in 4.2, knowing the aliens are around the corner with Squadron 42, I don't know. I think we're almost there, guys. Like, not to get like really hopium, not to get everybody really excited, but we are almost at the potential of something. Well, we already are. At a position where no other game's doing this, but at the potential of something really great, something cinematic.
You gotta believe. You gotta believe.
Yeah,
it's like
that's right.
It's like Oregon Trail off the beaten path, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever played Oregon Trail
Back in the day.
Like, it's like taking that left turn at Albuquerque, like Bugs Bunny always used to say. Like, it's just okay.
Yeah,
we're doing our own thing. You're gonna be out there in the open.
And I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else than you jokers and Soul Permission. So thanks for being part of this. Guys, let's wrap this one up on this Memorial Day weekend. Happy Memorial Day. I hope this finds everybody well. Do we want to go around the horn and tell everybody where we can find more of ourselves? Groza, you want to start? People want more of the Groza experience.
If you've been injured in a car accident after closing your eyes during a podcast, contact Groza Law, and we can do a class action.
I was very explicit when I said don't do that.
I'm around at it's at that little @ sign, the A with the circle around it. Citizen Groza, the way that it's spelled right underneath my chin, and then the word citizen. I'm at all fine bookstores available everywhere, and yeah. I spend most of my time on X, I would say. I have a insurmountable backlog of footage to edit for YouTube and stuff, but I'm pretty active on X. It's a nice little way to hang out during the day a little bit.
Yeah. Mustang.
Mustang 6 at Mustang 6 art Mustang6ad.com. don't go there right now because I'm hiding. I'm working on stuff. I'm revamping my website and store. So, yeah, trying to build some new content, some new artwork and stuff. I'm on X and on Instagram and just hanging out.
Awesome. And you can find all of us at beyondtheversehq.com. Or soulprovision.com. So join an in-game organization. I say this every time I have these jokers on. Join an org. It might not be Soul Provision. Join an org. It's going to make the Idris come to life. It's going to make the Starlancer attack come to life. Everything that we've been talking about for the last 2 hours and 6 minutes. It's a long podcast. Join an org. Soul Provision, we're here. Like, we have a great time every Thursday night, 25 or more. We have another great one planned for tomorrow night, which is Thursday at the time of recording this. But this is a home. It's a family. It's something that we've created. Our brand is strong. Our family is strong. It's a great, great experience. And again, we are not this without Groza and Mustang. And Marauder, I know you can't be here, but Marauder as well. The three of you make Soul Provision what it is. So thank you kindly. And I look forward to the next time we record. Awesome. 07.
Valkyrie for life.
All right, everybody. Safe travels as you traverse beyond the verse.
Shout out to Blast. You rock, Blast.
Bye, everybody.